Should probably switch it on as well. Oh, the refs are coming. Oh no, I'm not ready. Just check. It's on. It's on. So just check. Do a sound check.
Sound check.
Just check. Get it? It's fine.
Testing.
Okay. Testing. 1, 2. So it's good. It's all the same. Yeah. I'd rather keep.
We'll try not to speak at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Yeah, that we've seen no problem, but yeah. So, I mean, just say something. Thoughts of the game? Happy to be here. Yes. Just here for the vibes.
I think as a collective, we're
Hey, thank you.
forward to it.
Okay, that's it. There's first and main. Is that all right then?
I heard a familiar voice before. I watched too much MPL TV. It's not good. Not good. He lives on it. Watch the ball game.
Host? Again? Okay. Sorry, everyone. I'll just start that again. Welcome to the Football New South Wales League 1 Men's Match of the Round for round 24. Eric Subihano here on commentary for, a really big match. Two teams that have made history in recent times. Both SD Raiders and Northern Tigers have made the Australian Cup round of 32 for the first time this year, and we are ready to get underway at Ernie Smith Reserve Field number 2. We'll get onto the lineups in a bit. It's home kits for both, the green jerseys for SD Raiders, the predominantly white jerseys with the green stripes for Northern Tigers, and I'm delighted to say I'm not calling this one by myself, because with me is League 1 men's reporter Justin Smith, and as the two teams get underway, Justin, your initial thoughts on calling this one here today?
Well, this was a fun fixture for the first time around, wasn't it?
Yes.
We were both there at North Taramara
Yes.
that day with a late SD Raiders goal separating the sides.
Yeah, as that will run through to the keeper, Bodie Denton. Might as well go through the Tigers lineup first while we're here. So number 21 in goal, chucking the ball now, is Bodie Denton. Number 2, Oliver Scott. Number 4, Koya Nakano. Number 6, Cole Mutton. Number 7, Jesse Spang. Number 8, Ali Brown. Number 9, Kai Denton. Number 16, Lachlan Lloyd. I'll hold that thought as the shot comes in and straight at the keeper. And the rest of that Tiger starting lineup. Number 17, Connor Rose. Number 18, Tiger Kawano. And number 23, Jakub Praja. Opening minutes here. And luckily, given our filming position does face a bit west, but the sun has sunk just behind the trees opposite us just in time. And nothing to bother today's camera operator, Nelson. Who will be doing another fine job as always. Headed back by Hannigan, and we might as well go through the SD Raiders lineup out there. So in goal, on the ball right now, number 1, Michael Figuera. Then number 4, Cooper Hannigan. Number 8, SD Raiders captain, James Letter. Number 12, Lachlan McGrath, former Tigers player. Number 14, Noah Kionese. Number 19, the hero the last time these two teams met, is Riley Cox-Barlow. Number 21, Sebastian Malfara. Number 22, Jonathan Sabatu. Number 42, Lachlan Everett. Number 47, Ethan Bevan. And number 99, Luka Knezovic. So, I might just get Justin's thoughts on what stands out. Are those two lineups, and is Coop Hannigan might prepare for a longish throw? Or anything stand out to you from either of those starting lineups?
Well, both these sides have quite a consistent starting 11, don't they?
Yeah, yes, that's right.
So although Riley Cox-Barlow has come into the side,
Yep.
it's a change with Segoya going to the bench,
Mm-hmm.
so that's probably the big news from the team.
Yeah. Yes, and further to what Justin said, it was round 9 was when we were up at North Turramurra on a lovely day at the northern suburbs, and lots of late drama there. It was SD Raiders falling behind late, but then scoring 2 really late goals. I think 87th and 89th minute to win by 2-1 in what was then a top of the table clash. And there are, shall we say, rumours that Riley Cox-Barlow got fined for a goal celebration involving a somersault. I think the wording was celebration better than the goal, but that is unconfirmed, as that will be an SD Raiders free kick. So as we take a look, and it's a sore one. So I can't quite see the number of the player, but referee Carl Davies immediately on the scene. Of course, we might as well talk about, we did mention these 2 teams qualifying for the Australia Cup round of 32. I was actually lucky enough to be on commentary at Landon Stadium last month. SD Raiders defeating Blacktown by 2-1, so that's how SD Raiders achieved that historic milestone. And for their part, Northern Tigers, the game that got them into the Australia Cup round of 32, a 4-0 win against Hills United at North Turramurra Recreation Area, and the Northern Tigers captain Lachlan Lloyd scored a hat-trick that day. So, plenty of good times for both. Of course, I've got a bit of cup fever as Kianese plays the ball forward, and there's a flick off Mutton that'll go through to Denton, Bodie Denton, the keeper. Probably have buried the lead. Northern Tigers are also top of League One men's at the moment, Justin, and it's been a fascinating title race, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's a dynamic title race. Isn't
yes.
it? It's changing every week as we go on, but Tigers have found a bit of form.
Yep.
4 wins in their last 5.
Yep.
And, yeah, looking good coming into the last 6 weeks or so.
Yeah, so 6 games to play after this one. Yeah. And as that will run through for a goal kick. Yeah, it's incredible because, of course, Justin, we both remember when the season was 22 games long. This is now round 24, and they got 6 games to go after this. And, of course, you've got to factor in these teams also had Australia Cup qualifiers, a Waratah Cup semi-final. In the case of Northern Tigers, a Waratah Cup final as well. So unlucky to lose. And they got Australia Cup round of 32 matches coming up. So pretty busy time for semi-professional footballers.
Definitely, and you're seeing the effects on particularly the SD Raiders in their recent form. Whereas Northern Tigers have done well to manage that recently.
Yes, yes, they have. And as it shows in their strong position, I think that they got 45 points to lead the league with. That's and in 23 games so far, averaging about 2 points per game are Northern Tigers, which generally speaking is, if you're averaging 2 points a game, you're going to be competitive, as that's Knezovic. Shall we say, some close attention from Tiger Kawano, and then a bounce off a Tigers player, and then spread wide to the captain, James Letter. Hannigan from deep. Great first touch from Sebastian Malfara. I think he wants it on his right foot. He'll play it across the box. Tigers with the toe in there. And I think that was Nakano breaking it up for Tigers. As Ali Brown, a star in this competition over, almost a decade now. We can forgive him for that brief stint at Sutherland. He's now back at what we consider to be his home, Northern Tigers. And in fact, many, many years ago, I think it was actually the Northern Tigers coach, Adam Hett, who nicknamed him the David Silva of the Northern Suburbs. So a left-footed attacking midfielder. You can easy to see why, as this will be Cox-Barlow, and he might get a chance here. Riley Cox-Barlow, that is a great save from Bodie Denton. Stood up well. Goalkeeper coaches love to see that, Justin.
Yeah, and Bodie Denton has become a regular feature in this Northern Tigers side this season. Yeah. You've got to say, both their goalkeepers are, you would take them any day in League One men's competition.
Tell you what, because might as well go through the Tigers bench now, but backup keeper Elliot Carl-Warden, who ever since, as I show how long I've been following these competitions, he's ever since coming back from his stint at Wanderers Academy, that's 7 years ago? 6 or 7 years ago now, but he did basically make that Tigers number 1 keeper spot his own for a lot of years. It shows you how good Bodie Denton is that he's supplanted Elliot. The rest of that Tigers bench, Oliver Franz, Lachlan Mills, Talisin Dorigo, Jonathan Green, and Aidan Gardner. As it's Hannigan playing it back to Letta, and then it's across. I think that's McGrath in the number 12 jersey for SD Raiders. Now, by the way, the SD Raiders bench, players we could see later, depending on what SD Raiders coach Gordon Laboya decides. It's Ryoma Takagi, Michal Marcic, who scored the winner in that Cup game against Blackdown that got SD Raiders into the round of 32. There's also Yuto Silgura, Thomas Santarossa, Matthew Lee, and the backup keeper appears to be Andrew Parkin. So floodlights just starting to kick in. Now the sun has well and truly set. Some lovely colours in the sky as we look up, but eyes really on the field as one captain puts pressure on the other for a brief moment. Boyd pressuring Letta, but Letta gets rid of it. And there's Knezovic. Kianese, good first-time pass. Hannigan in swinger, and Kianese gets the touch, and it's, well, somehow, I think that's Nakano, who was pretty much with the goal line clearance and also preventing the runner at the far post getting a tap in. But I think you could see, Justin, you've spoken a lot about the SD Raiders off-the-ball movement. That was a really nice move. You had Kianese spreading it out wide to Hannigan, who all get up and down the flank all game, and then suddenly Kianese was in the box really causing havoc.
Yeah, indeed, and he's...
flags up. Keep going, Justin.
Kianese's a very good player, dropping deep, finding that bit of space to create chances like that.
See, he did drop off to play the pass, and then he was basically breaking the lines at the well in the next phase, which is excellent movement. Kianese, another one of the stalwarts of this competition. Justin and I remember when it was called NPL2 New South Wales Men's, the greatest league in the world. Don't tell NPL Men's. But now it's called League One Men's, and yeah, just one. You got Noah Kianese. It's good to see players like him and Ali Brown that are just given this competition so much flavour over so many years. As Bodie Denton goes long. By the way, I would like to point out, it wouldn't have counted anyway because the flag went up. That was a good save from Bodie Denton off that chance in any case. So you'll be pleased with that, even if it doesn't count as such. Given away, and now there's, I think, Sebastian Malfaro running through the centre. Kianese, again, he finds Hannigan. Aiming far post. And there's a knockdown, which Nakano clears. So, Eric Subihano calling here at Ernie Smith Reserve Field number 2 with Justin Smith. League One Men's match of the round for round 24. 0-0 between SD Raiders and Northern Tigers. Sideways to Letta. Hannigan getting lots of touches early on. Again, he tries the diagonal. Decent touch from Knezovic, lays it off. Cox Barlow into the middle. This time it's Praja with the quarter clearance, we'll call that. Shot deflects up. Kianese tries to flick it towards goal, and Bodie Denton has to fall on the ball to calm things down.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning that pre-match, the SD Raiders camp seemed pretty confident going into this one, considering their form line.
Yes.
And yeah, you can see that with a positive start here.
Yeah, it is a positive start. And in fact, I mentioned that cup game. That was also actually the last time they won. So if there's people out there looking for lucky charms, maybe SD Raiders folk hoping that I'm the lucky charm this evening. A bit of space for Sebastian Malfara. The through ball to Kianese. Flag's going to stay down. Kianese does keep it in play. Hannigan, as always, in support. Now Letta stepping up to provide support as well, but the Tigers keep their shape, able to able to force some kind of backwards passes.
It is worth mentioning the head-to-head record of these two as well.
Yes.
The SD Raiders have won 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two sides. Prior to that, it was quite one way, Northern Tigers.
Yes.
So,
as that stinked forward, so that would be, I'm really testing the memory here, you would, I mean, at least in relatively recent seasons, the first season these two would have played would have been 2020, because SD Raiders got promoted from the old NPL3 in 2019. But yeah, as I said, Justin, with the history, it's gone one way than the other in terms of the head-to-head. Good interception from Lachlan McGrath. And he crosses halfway, looking for options. Knezovic. He does have Sabatu out wide. It's actually interesting, because you and I, Justin, have seen SD Raiders a lot this season. At least from my memory. in terms of the kind of the wide defenders, it's Sabatu on the left and Hannigan on the right. But that's been swapped today.
Flip the script.
Yes. Yes. They're pretty. Like, we haven't seen it from Sabatu left, but he's very capable of providing what we've seen from Hannigan so far, getting up and down and, being kind of an extra attacker as well as a solid defender.
It's worth mentioning Sabatu is probably more prominent as central midfielder prior to this season, definitely.
Yes. Yeah, and it's good work from Gordon Laboya, kind of recognizing kind of the versatility that his players possess. As Hannigan delivers, he was aiming towards Malfara's run from midfield. It was headed away, I think, by Mutton and Tigers. Over the top to Kai Denton. Tries to spin, and he might keep it in, cuts it back, but all he does is find SD Raiders, who try to build through and on the ground. Knezovic on the far side, in front of his coach, I think. And that will run all the way through. And Hannigan, look at that, he's already in a decent attacking position. Tracked, I think, followed by Connor Rose. But Hannigan will go to Sabatu and gets it back. There's a 14th minute here in Moorebank. 0-0 between SD Raiders and Northern Tigers. And for their part, SD Raiders there. They were top of the league for a decent chunk of the season. Currently in 7th, but I think just saying that they're 7th is a bit misleading because they're only 8 points off top place. Such is the closeness between the teams at the top of League One men's this season. That ball will curl towards Sabatu. First time cross, and it's going to be way out of reach for Kianese, so a goal kick.
Yeah, form very much corresponded with the turn of the second round coming in.
But for SD Raiders, a little bit more positive results in the 2 recent rounds. A 0-0 draw against Canterbury Bankstown, or Berries, as I think everyone still calls them, despite what their official name is now. Before that, a 2-2 draw. It was here against, I say here against Bonnyrigg. I think that was on the grass, though. The grass field here at Ernie Smith Reserve. But
no, you would be correct. It was field 2.
Oh, field 2?
It was here.
It was here, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's right, yeah. Okay, yes. Must be good to have, 2 fields you could choose whether to play on grass or Syntho. Anyway, SD Raiders, dinking one towards Kianese. There's Hannigan again. Left-footed cross, it's blocked. And then the clearance, and that was from Oliver Scott. Slams into Hannigan and out for a goal kick.
It's a pretty nice warm-up field, isn't it? Field 1 over there to the cameras, right?
Yes, it is. And to be fair, they have used it. So I do remember some of our stream games. Of course, on Football New South Wales, we're streaming all kinds of competitions. Yeah, we have streamed from there this season as well. Just don't mention the result of the last stream game there to me. I don't want to hear about it. But anyway, that's another story. Yes. Little look over the shoulder, backwards, and then SD Rake is keeping it calm. They've had a lot of the ball in the opening quarter of an hour, but credit to Northern Tigers. Just the one save, I think, from that Bodie Denton needed to make that was kind of taxing for the Tiger shot stopper. But now, this Tiger starting to press a bit higher. And Letta, unfortunate slip, but he's done well to play the ball on the ground. Kianese dropping deep, trying to keep the massing move going. That's a nice ball. And then the header was a decent idea, but it is intercepted. I think that was Oliver Scott. Very nice tackle from SD Raiders in the midfield. And now they keep the ball moving, but the pass wasn't going to get to Hannigan. I think the number 42, Lockie Everett, with a couple of nice touches for SD Raiders in that recent phase of play.
Yeah, he's just recently come in as well. One of 3 players in this SD Raiders side to come in at the window.
Oh, yeah, we call it the transfer window. It's the registration window. Technically, there's no transfers in the state leagues, as there we go. Glad that fence is there. Yes. Although, after nearly getting taken out by 2 clearances while on the tower at Bonnyrigg twice in the space of a minute, I mean, I suppose it's not in terms of stray balls, there's not a lot that's going to scare me these days. Down the line. But Hannigan is the player who ends up with it. Looking to go direct, and Mutton has the leading position, but what's a great chase from Cox Barlow. He's gotten the better of 2 Tigers players. great defending from Oliver Scott. Gee, speaking about versatility, I mean, I'm going back a fair bit. Oliver Scott broke into Tigers first grade, 5 years ago as a forward, scoring. I remember this is actually my first year of commentary as well. He scored quite a few goals. Now doing something a bit different as a defender, but he's doing it well so far.
Yeah, looking across the Tigers' backline tonight, actually, you got Cole Martin, who was a wide defender back in the day.
Yeah.
So
is that
definitely done a good job at that versatility as well.
Yes. Adam Hett, who is, 7th season as Northern Tigers first grade head coach?
Yeah, he's got to be close to the longest serving.
Yeah. That might be a halftime research project, but yeah, don't remember too many coaches in this division who were the first grade coaches of the same team in 2019. But as there's a quick throw in, what's the call? I think it didn't go in, the throw. Okay, so they're going to, Northern Tigers would take 2 from the throw. Of course, what we will try and do, I do love going around the grounds on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. My meager multitasking ability permitting as always, but we'll try and give some other scores go around the grounds depending on what other games are in progress. That's a nice touch from Lloyd. That's Brown. Ali Brown in the brightly coloured boots, looking for Tiger Kawano, and Kawano, did he almost but not quite got around Lachlan McGrath, but that'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, as you would imagine this time of the year in a competitive promotion fight and relegation fight, there are big games.
Yes.
Once again this round. Pity we only have one match of the round.
Yes. I mean, as there's a nice ball through, and Cox Barlow is onside. This could be a big chance. He waits, gets pressured. Cox Barlow shoots and scores. So he took his time, and Riley Cox Barlow has done the damage again for Northern Tigers. A lovely left-footed finish, floated into the top corner, and it's SD Raiders 1, Northern Tigers 0.
Yeah, that's a common feature in both of these sides play, actually. The ball over the top or the through ball with plenty of pace in Cox Barlow and Kai Denton's game.
Yes.
And lovely finish with his left foot.
Great.
I don't think that's his natural foot.
It is not. So no somersault this time for Riley Cox Barlow, but the thing that matters most to SD Raiders is that he has scored, and they've drawn first blood here.
Yeah, that's not been common in recent form either, them scoring first. They've been chasing a lot of games.
Yes. So what do we just look the stopwatch here? It's 20th minute. We're going to call that for Riley Cox Barlow. Tigers to get us back underway. Bodie Denton sends one into the sky. Header from Sabatu. Long-range shot. It wasn't too high, but it does swing wide off the boot of the captain, Lachlan Lloyd. Down the line to Hannigan. Hannigan briefly gets away from Connor Rose. And then Kianes has made a habit of trying to switch play to wide runners, so that one is a little bit off target.
Got to say, both midfields will have to do a lot of work tonight.
Yes.
With both sides looking to get the ball forward quickly.
Yes, that is true. Also, games currently in progress in this division, League One men, so it's 0-0 at halftime between Hakoah and Inter. About 20 minutes played in the Bankstown Derby. Yeah, we'll call it the Bankstown Derby. Bankstown City 0, Canterbury Bankstown 0. 17th minute in Rydalmere, I think. Rydalmere 0, Hills United 0. Early stages at Arlington Oval. Dulwich Hill 0, MacArthur Rams 0. And that is not a throw-in taken from the correct place. Yes. By the way, haven't been to Arlington Oval in a while. I think we were there early in the season for Dulwich Hill versus Spartans. And I saw 2 unsecured VO poles, and a stray ball nearly took out both of them at the same time. Thankfully, not the case here, I think. Yeah, it should be okay. Strong header. It's helped them by Knezovic, but it's back with Connor Rose, and you'll find the open player, Cole Mutton. Down the line, Tigers go. Kawano. And he delivers from out wide. That's very confident keeping. You heard the shout from Figueroa, and he caught it very comfortably. Ooh, that is Connor Rose, who's going to intercept and ride a challenge. Takes it wide. Jesse Spang. Didn't get the curl he wanted. That'll hit the big net behind the SD Raiders goal. To your point about the registration window, people who've switched teams, Taika Kawano. Back in this division, I mean, last year you had very nice things to say about his spell at Canterbury, Bankstown. He did start off from when he was at Canterbury last year. This year he started with Manly. He's decided to go to Northern Tigers for the remainder of this season. I like what I saw of Tiger at Manly, so he's a good pickup for Northern Tigers. As the bounce does not evade Hannigan. Goes back to the captain. Letter. It's up, but that'll be easy for Mutton.
Yeah, back to Kawano in his more favoured position as well tonight on the left.
Yes, yeah. Yes. I know.
It's good to see. He scored a lot of goals there last season.
And I know. So he can play at centre forward, and I think pretty sure Manly did try it, but yeah, I think you're right. I think he's better as a wide player. And let's see how he goes this evening. But it is his team trailing, Northern Tigers trailing, thanks to that 20th minute goal scored by Riley Cox-Barlow, which has the home side SD Raiders in front. And that will not... Jesse Spang, I think, was the target. Not going to reach that one. By the way, games that will start later on this evening, well, in a few minutes, at the Village Green. One of the best names for a ground in the Football New South Wales State Leagues, the Village Green, but it's UNSW hosting the Spartans. That's meant to be a 5:30 kickoff in Kensington. That's actually a men's and women's doubleheader there, because the UNSW women's team would have just finished their game against Sydney Olympic. But there's two 7 p.m. kickoffs. Oh, what's happened to this comp? It used to be like a 95% Saturday 7 p.m. comp. Now, well, I mean, it's not as cold, so I suppose we like it better now that it's a Saturday 5 p.m. comp. But yeah, the two 7 p.m. games today are Mounties Wanderers against the Jets Academy. What's that? The Coal Button Derby? That one. But also Bonnyrigg White Eagles against Bulls FC Academy is the other 7 p.m. game. Good intercept from Sabatu, but then can't connect with the ball down the line. Tell you what, I was actually going to look at my live score app to go run through the table, but then I remembered something to do with the Jets, so I'm going to use the dribble app instead, just for 100% accuracy.
Got a -3 points.
Yes. That was yes. We will report on that. The why, you can research that yourself. We'll probably keep our noses clean in that respect. But Tigers top of the table with 45 points as Bodie Denton jumps the fence to retrieve that ball. In second place, Blacktown Spartans, 42 points, and second place is the playoff spot. If the team that finishes in second at the end of the season will be in a 2-leg promotion relegation playoff with the second last team, or the 15th team from NPL, the top tier. Anyway, third place, UNSW on 40 points. Fourth, Bulls, 39 points. Fifth and sixth, Jets and Rydalmere, both on 38 points. Similar goal difference as well. Jets plus 16, Rydalmere plus 14. SD Raiders, 7th, 37 points. And to round out the top half of the table, Interlions 8th on 34 points.
Yeah, I was at Jets against Rydalmere last week. And
you were?
What a game.
Wow, you went all the way to a Jets home game? The dedication. Now, in case you picked up something from my tone, yeah, it was technically a Jets home game. It was at Rydalmere Park, though, so not... While Justin, a committed traveller for this competition, not quite the travel that him going to a Jets home game initially implies.
You say that, but I'm in double digits for Plume Park, so...
Yes. Also, while I talk, remember long trips that you've done in the past, Tigers playing out from the back here, there's no pressure on Bodie Denton. You are the only Football New South Wales media member to do a Wagga City Wanderers home game, are you not? Yes.
What a reference.
Thank you. I'll be digging deep for the references this evening, don't you worry about that. For what it's worth, my longest media commute is the Hillshire to South Narra Football Complex for a League One women's game. Southeast Phoenix 1, Hills United 7. Yeah. But anyway, back to this game. Malfara, that's an interesting ball over the top. Dealt with for now, but only as far as Hannigan. Aims for the far post. It's going to be a free header. And now looking for Chianese, who makes it 2-0. It's a wonderful team goal. Hannigan involved again. The header at the far post, unselfish. And Noah Chianese could hardly miss from that position. So SD Raiders, what a start, Justin.
Yeah, definitely. We said they were feeling a bit confident. More confident than their form line would, suggest. But that's a...
Yeah. Well, Justin,
that of course is Noah Chianese's 7th goal of the season.
Yes. Now, just that you've just counted league goals, have you not?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the. It'd be great to have a combined tally one day, but trust me, that's quite tricky. So, but still, if you look at the way Chianese plays tonight, he's not just staying on the last defender trying to poach. He's involved in build-up play. Is distributing well, and to play like that while also getting 7 goals is an excellent effort. And yeah, he's one of the most consistent goal threats over the years in this division, Noah Chianese.
That's also the 25th goal Northern Tigers have conceded this season.
Yes, you said they are. Yeah, you did. I did show. You did show me your notes before the game, Justin. Notes for commentary, of course, being a foreign concept to me. But thanks for that, Justin. But Northern Tigers going into this game with the best defensive record, as there's one which Connor Rose will not chase down. But SD Raiders showing their attacking quality once again. That's a loose one off the boot of Knezovic. Did Knezovic come from Bulls? Or have I got him mixed up with someone else?
He could have in the past. I think he was at St. George City.
St. George City.
Recently.
Thanks. Anyway, it's long throw time, and Kai Denton hurls one into the box. There's the header from Scott, and it's an uncontested catch for Michael Figuera. Booming kick. And as it drops, who was that off? Tigers ball.
Not often you'll have a goal scorer who scored like 18 goals also have a long throw in his repertoire.
Can I just say, as there's actually another good long throw, I think it was Connor Rose. Can I say? In my observation, just talking to people around the leagues, everyone just likes a long throw till they got one in their team. Then they use it as much as possible. So...
Yeah, well, it's another set piece creation opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah. And I am an unashamed fan of long throws. As Denton plays it long. There's the header. It's a nice header, and the Spang does not get onto it because of Lachlan McGrath, who clears it into the SD Raiders bench. So, Eric Subihana here with the League One men's round 24 match of the round commentary alongside Justin Smith. SD Raiders 2, Northern Tigers 0. Their goals coming from Riley Cox-Barlow and Noah Chianese, as there's a bit of a loose touch. And Knezovic is in here, but he's by himself. Tries to go from long range, doesn't get the contact right. Didn't mind the idea, though. Keeper not quite in position. Another little example of how SD Raiders are up for this one, Justin.
Yeah, definitely. And it's notable how much backtracking the Tigers have to do in occasions like that.
Ali Brown eases past the challenge, and possibly another one. He drifts in field. Can't link up with Lloyd. So Hannigan to go down the other way. Connor Rose, a strong challenge. Cooper Hannigan, what a tackle. I'm an unashamed fan of slide tackles as well. Well done you, Cooper Hannigan. And then he wins the free kick. As an SD Raiders player took a tumble off the ball. They might want to get up if they can, Riley Cox-Barlow, because SD Raiders haven't hung around for anyone. Little 1-2. Malfara hits the synthetic turf. We'll go on with Chianese. Dinks one in. They let it bounce. Doesn't quite make its way to Cox-Barlow, as Denton can't get the touch off the clearance. But does this work out for the Tigers? Denton plays it wide. Here's Connor Rose. Denton in support, trying to overlap, I think. Rose holds it up. And then leaves it short. Everett takes over. SD Raiders, it's opening up already. And that's 2 straight. But actually, that last minute or so, it felt like the second half of the game, not the first half, Justin.
Kind of what we saw in the late stages of the first meeting between
Yes, good. Well, if it's Lucky I've got my throat lozenges ready, because if the rest of the game is like this, I'm going to need them over the next hour. Out wide to Connor Rose. Actually, Connor Rose might go second go at finding a teammate. That he does. Kawano, unselfish. And the shot from Kai Denton, good save. Good positioning from Michael Figueira. And then the shot is... It's always tough to hit them when they're dropping down, but that's much better from Northern Tigers. That a better demonstration of what they have to offer.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's important they get Kai Denton on the ball inside the area.
Yes. Yes.
Actually, of course, Lockie Lloyd, when the Tigers are playing well, he's playing well. He's dictating it.
One of the... when Lachlan Lloyd is playing well, Tigers are playing well, an axiom for this division over the last 10 years. Pretty much. So, the longer pass is swept up by Koya Nakano, and then Mutton. Bit of stumble, but he's got plenty of time, and in fact, Denton stepping out of the area to help keep the passing move going. He drills one, but that's going to be keeper-to-keeper action. And Figueira now on the ball for SD Raiders. So, I got a little bit of space. I mean, I did mention the Australia Cup earlier. Might as well talk about who they're playing. I thought that, yeah, we've done it. We've done that. So, you'll have to remember the dates. Is it? No, Northern Tigers. Their game is 23rd, I think, this month. Oh no! Oh god. But Northern Tigers are home is. I suppose home is whatever you want it to be, but. As we'll go back to that thought is Tiger Kawano. Marshalled well by SD Raiders, forces it back. Ali Brown. Oh, that's lovely work to glide past the challenge. Lloyd now. Lloyd looking for space. Doesn't panic. The cross, ends up with the keeper. But yes, Northern Tigers hosting Sydney United 58 in their Australia Cup round of 32 to tie. And home, it's at Leichhardt Oval. So it'll do for this particular occasion.
Well, it's a return of sorts, isn't it?
Yes, I'll get onto that later, but that requires a fair bit of explanation. As Malfara shoots, and it's parried, and out for a corner. Yeah, okay, two. So, the Tigers' name is going back to its home region. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll need a proper break to explain what I'm talking about by that. But anyway, Northern Tigers, I can't remember. Apologies, everyone. I'm sure you could Google it and find out when that game is. I know that the SD Raiders are home Australia Cup round of 32 tie at Fairfield Showground against Macarthur FC of the A-League. That is Tuesday the 29th of July, I'm pretty sure. As we'll double-check those things after, I think, this corner. They go short to Knezovic. Something else that they've cooked up in the shot through the crowd, but also wide.
Yeah, worth mentioning, Northern Tigers host Sydney United this Wednesday night.
Yes, it is.
23rd.
Yeah, sorry, it was the 23rd. Yes, I've lost track of time. I forgot the 23rd was so soon. Oops. But yeah, that's at Leichhardt Oval, and I'm sure your best internet search will let you know. The ticketing details for that game at Leichhardt Oval. Look over the shoulder, and back to the keeper. Now, as Bodie Denton plays it out to Mutton. And now that's good work from Nakano. Cross halfway, rides a challenge. Well, doesn't ride that one, but he's also won a free kick.
Been a good response since conceding that second goal from the Tigers.
Yes, and it's very important because they look a 3-point lead. I mean, given the leads between first and second we've seen this season, 3 points looks like a chasm, but compared to the other gaps we've seen, but it's not a lot. And with Spartans in action currently against NSW, I mean, comeback would be very nice for the Tigers. And it could start here with this set piece, which Nakano will take. Swinging delivery, and takes a touch, and it's Hannigan to take it out of the box, and he decides to go safety first, and I had a very close eye on the trajectory of that clearance. Luckily, it sails over all of our heads. He could hold it up against one, but not against the second player. Now Nakano. Can't find Brown. SD Raiders trying not to get pinned in the corner. Sabatu. He keeps it moving. Finds Knezovic. So there's some room now. What are the runners like? Once again, Hannigan charging down the left, and he'll get the ball here. The options are gathering in the middle for him. First time delivery, but it's good goalkeeping from Bodie Denton. Good command of the penalty area from the Tiger shot stopper. There's a challenge ridden by Tiger Kawano, and they didn't like the forward options he had, so it keeps it kind of in a deeper position. Excellent tempo to this game, Justin. This is what this league's all about.
Yep. You can only guess that there'll be more drama as well.
Yes. Another tagline for this league, most dramatic league in New South Wales, which the expert reporter to my left came up with a few years ago. As I say, Justin Smith, League One men's reporter, the man who is so much better than his predecessor. That's another story. As Knezovic doesn't connect with the ball, and now instead it's Connor Rose with options either side of him. Rose to Spang. Could shoot. He does! And it's off the underside of the bar. And it does not. The hole of the ball does not cross the hole of the line, despite the protestations from the visitors. That was close to be Captain Obvious for a moment. The Tigers still have it in SD Raiders territory. Assistant has to be set in a very good position to spot that one. Jesse Spang nearly half the deficit with halftime approaching. 39th minute here at Moorebank. And one more time hurled into the box. Raiders, they would have seen that Kai Denton long throw already. Probably in previous seasons as well as this season. So Raiders alive to the threat, as Sabatu alive to that threat on the far side. Everett. Back to McGrath. Now Letter. And Hannigan, one-touch passing. Hannigan will get past halfway here. And Hannigan is going to charge. Cut in field. Still going. Now he has a shot. It's straight at the keeper. But, I mean, you love a football cliche. I mean, how do we rank the freedom Cooper Hannigan there? Is it the freedom of Ernie Smith Reserve, or is that a bit too much?
Yeah, I think it's fair enough. Yeah.
It's like in one run he went from left back to left midfield to number 10 position to almost centre forward and had a shot.
But such a good asset for SD Raiders to have tonight in particular.
Yes.
Against a side who sets up with three
at
central defenders.
Yes.
Having that wide overlapping.
Yes. That's a very good point. I mean, I'm no round ball analyst, that's for sure, but this is why you're here for tactics. But yeah, just, I mean, you're going to have to you might need to draw your own pictures because I don't have graphics to help me, but what Justin would be referring to is the gap between the widest central defender in a back three and the wide midfielder, if that makes sense. He's getting beyond the midfielder, so he's either forcing the opposition wide midfielder to drag back or dragging one of the central centre backs out wide. Again,
pretty good description for a novice.
Yes, an absolute novice attack.
But we saw it also play a part in the second SD Raiders goal. They had a back across the face. Yeah,
that's right.
On the wide side.
That was a lovely team goal. So 28th minute, of course, the joys of YouTube streaming, as Cox Barlow, I think he was going to flagged offside, but he doesn't matter because it ends up with Tigers anyway. But of course, the joys of YouTube streaming. Just click back on the stream to see what you missed. So SD Raiders are leading Northern Tigers by 2-0. About the 20th minute, the opener from Riley Cox Barlow. About the 28th minute, the second goal from Noah Kianese. Great tackle from Lachlan Everett. Cox Barlow could be away down the right side here. Strong defensive chase, I think, from Brown. Brown takes the sting out of the cross, and it's Cole Mutton. And Cole Mutton is the Tigers player down near halfway, so we're going to have a stoppage. You hope he's okay. All right, so what do I mean by the Northern Tigers brand name going back home for that Australia Cup tie against Sydney United at Leichhardt Oval? Well, back in 2001, the Northern Suburbs Football Association, back when it was known as the Ku-ring-gai District Soccer Association, bought a state league license off Balmain Tigers as part, this is 2001, I think, so by part of the conditions of the sale was that Northern Tigers kept the Tigers, Ku-ring-gai Tigers as they were back then, kept the Tigers nickname. And so, yes, that's what I meant. Because, I mean, Tigers, if you follow any sport in Sydney, quite a common nickname for inner west teams. So the Tigers are going back to... The concept of the Tigers, if that makes sense, is going back to Leichhardt for that Australia Cup game on Wednesday. Wow, that was convoluted, Justin.
Not even touching on Balmain Tigers. A Tigers team being in the state leagues.
Oh, yes. And by the way, because that's at Leichhardt. Oh, Balmain Tigers, back when they had a state league team, they did make the Australia Cup round of 32. And they hosted Melbourne Victory, and that went the way you'd expect it to go.
Which kind of a segue into Este Raiders Cup
Yes.
fixture against Bulls FC Academy Tuesday week.
Well, not
Bulls
Bulls,
FC.
no, MacArthur FC. Yes, it's yes, that's right. It's yes. So that entity known as Bulls FC Academy in League One Men's and NPL Women's, and of course it's MacArthur FC officially in
I'm
A
sure
League.
Plenty of academy talent will appear for the Bulls as well.
So we're basically, well, I better get my ticket then, because if that sounds like it's just going to be a League One Men's showdown. Well, I'm looking forward to being at Fairfield Showground there, Tuesday 29th. Is that fog in the distance? Or is my vision just really bad? Anyway.
It could just be the floodlights.
Yeah, yep. Boomed out from the back, but Sabatu's in the way. Fasty Raiders. Oh, he got the ball there, and Sabatu slides again in quick succession, getting the ball twice. Hannigan plays it into Rose. Then tackle from Hannigan. Just watching Cooper Hannigan slide in there. Wow, a number 4 engaging in slide tackles with reckless abandon. Anyway.
Has a similar card record to the number 4 you're talking about as well.
Yes. Meanwhile, while I was doing my contractually obliged Tory Tumeth reference, which is what I was the other number 4 was talking about, Sebastian Malfaro doing a bicycle kick of all things. And while Tigers have ball at the back, just to my meager attempt to try and link her to anything that's happening here. You know, Tori Toom is a League One legend, League One Women's, with Sutherland Strikers last year. Spang, good first touch, but forced backwards by Letta. And I think Letta pointing out the instructions because he's been dragged out of central defence. I think he's swapped with Hannigan, at least for now, at least until they can swap back. To be fair, Hannigan pretty good in the air, so I mean, there's a lot worse options to have covering at central defence temporarily than Cooper Hannigan. We're into stoppage time. Of course, sir. Hannigan goes back to Letta. McGrath. Across. Apologies, everyone. I have trouble seeing when it's on the far side of the field, but I really am doing my best.
Got to say, there's worse grounds to be pitch side at than this one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Depends on how I feel in the second half. We might name and shame the worst grounds, to be honest. Now, anyway, Tigers, perhaps one last chance to find a goal before halftime. Rose keeping it, and now it's Oliver Scott. Now Mutton. Nakano. That's good interception. Now that's Sabatu's fast, and I'll tell you what, he nearly got there, but Nakano was in the good position to shepherd it over the sideline. I think, because the refs are mic'd up, not quite sure what the assistant closest to us said, but I don't think there's a long left. Header by Spang, he'll have to chase his own flick on. And the header, well, Spang might get something here, and, well, it was, the headed back pass was very underhit from McGrath, but then he did enough to protect his keeper for Guerra. Hannigan, one side to the other, but it's half-time, and it's looking great for the home side, SD Raiders. They lead Northern Tigers by 2-0 as the teams make the long walk to the dressing rooms here at Ernie Smith Reserve. Justin, your thoughts on this first half?
Yeah, well, a bit of a turnaround from recent results and form going in. The SD Raiders coming out strong and doing well.
Yeah, so back to their early season form, but still a lot of work to do before SD Raiders can add another 3 points to their tally and perhaps, get back into that promotion race. So it's Eric Subihano here with Justin Smith for the League One Men's Match of the Round at Ernie Smith Reserve. SD Raiders currently leading Northern Tigers by 2-0, courtesy of goals from Riley Cox-Barlow and Noah Kianese. We'll take a break of about 10 minutes or so, so get yourself a warm drink. We will be back for the second half soon.
Okay, we're doing a lot of score updates. Oh, really? Oh, we can do all this. Oh, well, wait. Rockdale potentially. Wow, that's like a segue to something.
Hey, welcome back to our coverage of the Football New South Wales League One Men's Match of the Round for round 24. We're in Moorebank, southwest Sydney, and it is the home side, SD Raiders, leading Northern Tigers by 2-0. Sebastian Malfara of SD Raiders getting ready to start the second period. And, of course, as there's the whistle, away we go. And boomed out from the back. Of course, that's going to be a corner. That is so early. Potential attacking opportunity for the home side. As usual, no fourth official. We're on the opposite side to the technical areas, so if there's a halftime sub, you'll find out at the same time I do. But before that, this corner to be taken by Malfara. By the way, glad to hear Sergio Malfara tuning in. Thanks for your support, Sergio. Was a well-known figure at these parts. Sergio Malfara. But it's Sebastian Malfara playing it back to Everett. Headed away. Brown is chasing, but Malfara gets there first. Ding forward. Chianese. Hasn't got a lot of room, and the two Tigers players take it away from him. Nakano forward. Good touch from Kawano. Kawano had Everett pressing, and he has McGrath taking over the ball. So, perhaps I'm thinking a little bit ahead here, Justin, but as Cooper Hannigan runs down the far side, based on what you know of these two teams and looking at the benches, who do you think we're most likely to see later in the game?
Oh, good question. Good question.
And you can think about that as Malfara has it intercepted by Brown.
Well, from memory, more than anything, the SD bench is pretty attacking. So
yeah. Yes.
I'm not sure they're set up for this exact scenario, but
well, what if they're set up to score even more goals? That could be Gordon Boyer's plan.
Yeah. Best way to defend a
lead
is scoring more.
The best way to defend a lead is to make it an even bigger lead. But Tigers doing their best to make sure that doesn't happen, of course. And Sabato is the hand up, looking for the switch from the fellow wide player Hannigan, and Hannigan's going to put it right on the money. Sabato, two good touches to take it past Brown, and is giving Chianese too much of a job to chase.
Back to your question now, I would probably expect from the Tigers to see Dorigo,
Dorigo,
and Jonathan Green is the most likely players to come on in this scenario.
Yes, well, there are two numbers I have to keep an eye out for, although luckily, I think my nemesis, the halftime sub, hasn't happened this evening. I'm very glad, because I am so bad at picking up on those. Slip in the box. And then, eventually, I think the handball decision is paid against Sebastian Malfara.
It's worth mentioning also that SD Raiders games have featured a lot of goals in that last 15 minutes.
That is a very good point. And once again, reinforcing that, 3 goals in the last 15 minutes when these two teams met at North Parramatta in round 9. 2-1 win to SD Raiders.
Yeah,
Brown.
Both scoring and conceding.
Yes. Okay, so, well, did you hear that, everyone? There's no reason to go anywhere. Whatever other streams you're thinking of, watch those later. Watch this one. Chianese. Swings away from, swings towards the keeper, Bodie Denton, instead of towards his teammates who are trying to run into the middle.
Worth noting that Nakano is pushing up into midfield in possession at the moment.
Yes. Oh, wait. Is this a defender stepping up into midfield when his team is in possession to create a double pivot? Oh, I love that. I love it when that happens. Brown, down the line, Lloyd glides past Sabato. Aims infield, but it is taken away by SD Raiders. Nis Chianese, who's been out wide for the time being, tried to curl that into Cox Barlow's path, but that's going to be easy for Denton. Anyway, let's go around the grounds. Speaking of teams who have a history of using a defender to step up into midfield and create a double pivot while in possession, our friends at the Arctic Circle, Spirit FC, having a great time against Rockdale, leading by 3-0 in the 37th minute. And Rockdale, the team who Australia Cup journey ended here on this very patch of synthetic turf against SD Raiders, round 6 of the qualifiers. It's another tough evening for Rockdale, at least it looks that way. Also, the very, very, very early stages of as Prijor looks to deliver. It's not really cleared. Brown. Still Brown. Tries to find a way through. Did he get the touch? No, he did not. But in the, I suppose we'll acknowledge the top tier for a while. But very, very early stages of what I like to call the Bilal Belkadi Bash at Macedonia Park. That's between Wollongong and Manly, 0-0 after 4 minutes. And then, of course, all of these games being streamed on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel at 7:15 p.m. It's... Actually, by the way, Wollongong also got knocked out by SD Raiders in the Cup, by the way, back in round 5. That's very important, can't forget that. 7:15 p.m. kickoff is St George City hosting Marconi Stallions. And at 7:30 p.m, another team that lost to SD Raiders in the Cup. That's Blacktown City. They are away to Sutherland Sharks.
Yeah, not
Wait, was that just an excuse to talk about the SD Raiders Cup run? I don't know, you tell me, viewers.
Well, I can't comment after my antics back in NSW Newcastle Jets call.
That is true, although, of course, to be fair, you were just copying what I did 3 years ago when I... So, as that will take some retrieving, so... I'll say, in 2022, back when there were 12 teams in NPL Men's, and I think 9 of them got eliminated by... 9 of the NPL Men's teams got eliminated by League One men's teams in the Cup. Something like that. One was Sydney FC, who didn't participate because of their academy. Their A-League team joins in the main round of 32. One who shall remain nameless got knocked out by an Illawarra Premier League team. And there was only one NPL team in NPL men's team in the round of 32 that year. And 2 League One men's teams, the way it should be, just like this year. That's enough of a tangent for the next couple of minutes. But
of course, Spirit won the Waratah Cup that season.
Yes. Well. Oh, yes, it did. Yes, and it was Spirit FC. A lot of Mikey Conestobo magic, leading them to a 2-1 victory over Sydney United 58 at Landon Stadium, or whatever it was called that year. I think it was still Lily Home Stadium. It's had a lot of names, that ground. That's Lloyd. Dispossessed by Cox Barlow, and he's got plenty of runners. Sends the ball straight into Cole Mutton, but straight into Cole Mutton's arm, according to the referee, Carl Davies. And so Raiders attacking set piece coming up. By the way, I just want to give this young man's had a good name. Also, I actually haven't said his name pretty much since I did the lineups. Number 47, Ethan Bevan. It's like, yeah, just slotted, because he's mid-season. He moved in the registration window, didn't he? He's done well in that SD Raiders backline, alongside McGrath and Letter. So, everyone back for Tigers, and it's Malfara over this set piece. Sends it up and towards the back post. There's a runner peeling off towards the back. And last touch off SD Raiders. Goal kick. Score remains at 2-0 to them over Northern Tigers.
Really was a case of rejigging the spine of the SD Raiders side
in
the window.
Yeah.
As you can see on the pitch now.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I don't make these decisions. The registration window for the men's comps was really late. Like, it was well into the second half of the season. It didn't close that long ago. Like, okay. Now, Raiders moving it left, and Hannigan goes ball forward, takes a touch off a Tiger. Malfara tries to help it on, and that uncontested, I think that's Oliver Scott, but I think maybe our perspective made that back pass look a bit more dangerous than it actually was. In any case, Raiders have won it back. Here's Hannigan. Hannigan turns the face forward. Good work. Knezovic. Fouled. Another Raiders set piece coming up. Let's go around the grounds again. Late stages at Hensley Athletic Field. Hakoa 1 into 1. Hakoa down to 10 players. About an hour played at Jensen Park, I think that would be. Bankstown City 1. Canterbury Bankstown 0. at Rydalmere Park, 51st minute, Rydalmere 1, Hills United 0. Halftime at Arlington Oval, Dulwich Hill 0, MacArthur Rams 0. And at Kensington, at the Village Green, it's UNSW 2, Spartans 0 approaching halftime. Oh, Spartans are losing. That's a shame. Anyway, back to this SD Raiders set piece. And again, aimed at the far post. The keeper is up. And Bodie Denton, did he hang on to it well? Yeah. I mean, that is great keeping. Good catch under pressure. He wants the quick play forward. Kawano's closest to it. Sabato's got the jump, I think. And oh, that's brilliant. Jonathan Sabato sent him to the shops there. Everyone thought he was going to do the back pass. And he's bought himself a bit of time. And that's a great fake, Justin. Allowed his teammates to get back and support. Although, having said that, Tigers might have a chance now. Drilled in, and it's got way too much chili sauce on it for any Tigers runner.
Yeah, you would suggest this is going to script for SD Raiders at the moment.
Yeah.
Maintaining a lot control of the game.
Yes. Yeah. And as we look here, 56 minute here in Moorebank. So it's the time where I do my best with the standard my vision, but just trying to keep an eye on players warming up, because subs, generally speaking, would, based on all my experience watching football, would start to happen in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Got another pair of eyes to help you tonight.
Yeah, yes. And I'm glad you're here, Justin, because your eyes work properly. But no, don't get a touch. Malfara giving the instructions for the team to press as a whole. Still, Tigers do work it to the far side. It's a strong run into the middle. Connor Rose, I think it was. Yes, it was. He's won a free kick. Now, free kick just right of centre. The very left-footed Ali Brown is not in a hurry, which surprises me somewhat. But yeah, do you have any Tigers attacking set? The left-footed Koya Nakano is there. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. That was like, I was wondering why he wasn't in a rush. Okay, okay. There's a left-footer there. Yeah, 3 in the wall set by Fuguera. So what do we go? Right-footer Connor Rose or left-footer Koya Nakano? Yeah. This could be an interesting moment in this game. It's Nakano. It's up and it's too high. It's the big net behind the Raiders' goal. Fuguera, you've said SD Raiders like to play it out from the back, and that's that was the pattern of the first half, but Fuguera deciding to do something different, a more, shall we say, conventional goal kick. Just goes for distance. Good jump from Kawano. A second header from Spang, but it's given away, and then Cooper Hannigan booms one, and this should... Yeah, that's too much weight on it. Bodie Denton knows the game situation. He's in a bit of a hurry to jump the fence. I mean, there was a gate next to him, but he did save a few seconds, I suppose, by doing that. Of course, I mean, to be fair, a goalkeeper, you'd expect a goalkeeper to be agile enough to jump that fence, so it shouldn't really be a safety issue. It's not like if I tried to jump it, then it's a big problem. And back to Denton. Clips it forward. And, it's an awkward hop for a Tigers player on the far side, which was on Rose. SD Raiders have it via Hannigan. Near the corner flag. Takes a tumble. Will go on. And then it's a free kick to SD Raiders. Well, off your top of your head, what's the League One men's stream game for next weekend? Do you remember?
Bulls Academy against UNSW.
Oh, yes, Saturday 26th of July. Yeah, we're in July already. That's why it's so cold. 7 p.m. kickoff at Adensa Park. Bulls hosting UNSW. That's an interesting game among many, many intriguing games in the promotion race for League One men's this season. Teams battling for the top automatic promotion spot and second, which earns a promotion relegation playoff against the team who is second last in the NPL. Pretty much a corner here for Sebastian Malfara. And swinger to the near post, and that is off the Tigers for a corner. Speaking of streams, just a quick plug for the League One Women's Match of the Round for this weekend. It's tomorrow, 5 p.m. at Marconi Stadium Field 2. Marconi Stallions hosting South Coast Flame. Marconi trying to bounce back from losing 5-0 to Hills United last weekend in a top-of-the-table clash. Ooh, I think they're lucky we didn't choose to stream that one. Anyway, here's the corner. Header, almost an inadvertent flick on from a Tigers player, so it's going to be a corner on the other side. No, for a split second, I thought that was going to go in off the... Yeah, it's... Well, the Tigers survive, and Malfara slowly jogging across the pitch to take this set piece.
I enjoyed seeing some of the defenders automatically try and retreat for a goal kick.
Short corner this time, played to Knezovic, and it's back to Everett. Headed away. I think by Praja. Everett, little spin, finds Sabatu. Quick 1-2 at Malfara. Sabatu to the byline. Kawano followed him all the way. Might have been close enough to affect the cross. Spang with a little look over the shoulder. Goes backwards, then McGrath finds Chianese's forehead, and then it's Mutton's forehead directing it back to the keeper. Of course, just a reminder for the Tigers fans watching, your women's team is about to feature in the match of the round. That's starting at 6:30 p.m. kickoff, so only a few minutes away, that one. So if you love multi-screening, just open up another tab on your browser. But it's Northern Tigers women up against Gladesville Ravens at what will presumably be an absolutely freezing North Taramara recreation area. My roster says the Professor, Melissa Muscat, will be on the commentary there. And please stay warm, Melissa.
Yeah, former coach in this division once labelled it the coldest place on earth.
Yes. Also, you know that means something because that former coach grew up in Scotland. I can concur. Doesn't have a cool Arctic Circle nickname, but still incredibly cold. Northern Tigers home ground. Now Sabatu to Malfara. And this is building up nicely through Knezovic, and Canigan overlaps once again. That is lovely timing on the tackle from Oliver Scott. Forward. Now Spang's pulled out to the far side. I think that's Spang anyway. You know what my vision's like. Go backwards, and now it's Mutton deep. 4 Tigers with all Raiders players behind the ball.
First sign in this second half that the game's becoming stretched. So.
Yes. And so we go past 63rd minute. How's my maths? Yes, roughly, more thereabouts. Anyway, Tigers on the move. Good header at the near post away by McGrath. Praja looking to recycle the Tigers. Confident shout from Figuera, and he catches it. Distributes well. There's room here. I think that's Cox Barlow, who'll cross halfway. The defensive support quicker than the attacking support on this occasion, but he does find Chianese. With more possession play from the Raiders. No point panicking with the 2-0 lead, courtesy of those first half goals from Riley Cox Barlow and from Noah Chianese.
Looks like we're in for double sub in a moment.
Yes.
From the Raiders and Tigers battle.
Oh, a double sub. Yeah, well, I'm glad you're here, Justin. In case I haven't made that clear already. Off a hop, and that's not going to be a handball against Cole Mutton. So continuing to go around the grounds, I did mention the NPL Women's Comp. There's 2 games played already in that division of the Arctic Circle. Victory for the home side. Spirit FC defeating Manly by 2-0, keeping their NPL Women's New South Wales finals hopes very much alive with the double from Sienna Hawkins. There was also at the Village Green in the Women's Comp, NSW defeating Sydney Olympic by 2-1. And to complete that thought of games we've already had this weekend, as it's off Cox Barlow and then cleared by Nakano. Nakano fouled as well. Yeah, last night at Illingdon Sports Centre, Western Sydney Wanderers Academy defeating Sydney FC by 2-1 in the Youth Sydney Derby. Okay, this is going to take me a while to figure out. So it looks like 18. So Kawano, one of the players to make way. Tiger Kawano looks like he's off the field. Koya Nakano also off the field. So that's the players leaving for Tigers. Number 99, Luka Knezovic, he's made way.
And Jonathan Green.
And Riley Cox-Barlow is the other player to leave the field for SD Raiders. Okay, who's on? Help me out, Justin, please.
Okay, I think Jonathan Green came on for Northern Tigers there.
Yep.
One of them will be Mihail Marsic for SD Raiders.
Oh, that should be number 7 jersey.
Yeah.
Yep. He's pressing the ball right now. And Marcic. Well, we'll hold that thought, because here's Kai Denton. He's been marshalled well, like 3 defenders in his path, leading to the loose touch, and Figueira falls on the ball. Did 12 and 13 come on for Tigers? That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll clarify that for you in a moment, as it's zinged across the face of goal, and it might have been, was it Denton, or was it, I think it was Denton who was closest to it in the end. Great cross from the right-hand side, as that clearance is sliced and lands. It's gone over the big fence that surrounds Ernie Smith, reserve field number 2. Someone's going to retrieve that after the game. But yes. As there's another long throw flicked on, and then Figueira with the hand, sticking out the hand at the near post. By the way, sorry. Yeah, just to clarify, I thought the players on for Tigers, number 12, Oliver Franz. Number 13 is Lachlan Mills. Apologies, I'm still working through who's come on for SD Raiders alongside Mihail Marcic. Marcic, the hero from that cup game against Blacktown, which put SD Raiders into the Australia Cup round of 32 for the first time. Oh, 15, that's Matthew Lee. So he's come on in central midfield. So he is, you'd say Lee is the direct replacement for Knezovic. And then Marcic is direct replacement for Riley Cox-Barlow.
With a bit of a reshuffle.
Yeah. So, Franz, back to the keeper. Now, on the far side, aimed. That's a great header from Denton. Almost found Spang. Now Praja, good touch off the chest. Looking for Spang. He's found a little pocket. He is tracked by Letter. And Praja supporting once again. Whipped in, low. Hannigan's in the way. Oh, it's a little flick from Malfara. If this works out for Chianese, it does, and Malfara gets the flick out from Chianese. And the support is coming quickly. Good vision from Chianese. Here's Sabatu. He might get all the way into the box. Tight angle. He does shoot, and it's safe hands from Bodie Denton. See, they're still just like the intent from SD Raiders, Justin. Still looking to turn defense into attack, and quickly.
Yeah, definitely. And we singled out Chianese as a player who will do that and dictate their attack. But once again, we saw a wing-back push up in Sabatu.
Now, it's Ali Brown. Now it's Franz. Inside, and Raja looking for support. It does come from Oliver Scott. I think that's Spang out wide. Crosses and too much pace on the ball. And Michael Figueroa, given the game situation, and understandably, not really in a hurry. So, yeah, more streams coming up on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. So tomorrow, a couple of NPL Men's New South Wales fixtures. Firstly, 3 p.m. from Lambert Park, home of Sydney's best barista. RPL Leichhardt hosting the boys from Medenza Park. And my notes say the Serbian Martin Tyler, Nikola Pozda, has the commentary there from Leichhardt. 5 p.m. tomorrow from Plume Park. Central Coast Mariners are hosting St George FC, 2 clubs very recently of this division, by the way. And a game at Plume Park. So you know who's calling this one, the voice of Central Coast football, Pete Pryor. I'm glad for Pete Pryor's presence as the second closest caller to Plume Park. I do not want to be the regular Plume Park caller, because I live in the Hillshire. SD Raiders, you assume they'll still pick their moments to press, but standing off a little bit for now. So Mills, cross halfway, to the other newly introduced player, Oliver Franz. And Lee has fouled Praja. Here's Franz, near touchline. Brown bounces off him. Mutton keeps it alive, and then Sabatu with another excellent slide tackle. Mutton delivers from out wide. And SD Raiders standing firm. They did as Kianese was fouled. So SD Raiders free kick on halfway. And so I was just looking at my notes. Yes, the SD Raiders did keep a clean sheet last week, but haven't had too many recently. Much better defensive performance from them tonight, though, Justin.
In saying that, we should also note that they have been in games. They've not been out of games.
Oh, yes.
It's always been a 1-goal margin.
In fact,
and it's generally been their attack, which is the side which needs improvement.
Yes. In fact, actually, they've always been in games. Now I'm curious as to their last multiple goal defeat in the league, because I think it's a while ago. Yeah, round 16, 3-0 loss to Bankstown City is the last time they lost by more than 1 goal. So, yeah, as Tigers attack, cut back, and the shot is onto the hockey field, I think, or almost, not quite, but skied from Lloyd. And now a sub coming up.
I think chasing the ball.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's okay. That's a relief. It took me long enough to figure out the last set of substitutions. It's 74th minute here, I think. 2-0 to SD Raiders over Northern Tigers. League One men's match of the rounds. Eric Subihano here, enjoying this commentary opportunity alongside League One men's reporter Justin Smith. And those SD Raiders goals coming from Riley Cox-Barlow and Norkianese. Well, the flick from Sabatu doesn't quite work. So it's sent long and way too straight, so Figueroa will get another go to distribute. Great tackle from Malfar. He's got a runner. That's Kianese. Great ball. Kianese forced a little bit wide, but there is support in the middle from Marcic. He was tracked all the way by Martin, and Tigers needed him to be as alert as possible. So it was good work from the Tigers. Number 6 there. So So just as I look at the trusty live score app, Canterbury Bankstown with an equaliser against Bankstown City. 1-1 there. Dulwich Hill have taken a 1-0 goal lead over MacArthur Rams. It's finished 1-1 at Hensley Athletic Field between Hakoah and Inter. Well, looks like Rockdale went all the way to the Arctic Circle 4-0 because it's Spirit 4, Rockdale 0 at half-time in that big NPL Men's New South Wales clash at Macquarie Park. Again, it's a lot of this from Tigers, Justin. They've got a lot of the ball in the second half, and then these passes that just end up too straight, which I think is credit to SD Raiders because they're not giving them that much to work with.
Yeah, they've got a lot of players to play through in that area at the moment.
Lee with a good flick on, good touch off the chest from Marchich. So Chianese will chase once more. He gets there ahead of Lachlan Mills. Sabatu back. Bevan. Hey, Justin, just thought something. Hey, there's a number 47 at the back, so it's just like when Michael Schumacher was in Formula 1, hey. As always, you get extra. You get extra from my commentary if you're a Formula 1 fan, but apologies if you're not. That was pretty blatant. But that does remind me, as I go on another of these wild tangents, that's cleared. Did I tell you, Sydney FC Academy, they've got a young keeper called George Russell? There are half the commentary team wants him to play first grade for one reason and one reason only. Especially if he's going to play alongside Tyler Williams, eh? Yeah. I mean, I am getting a bit distracted. Also, I've got no chance of seeing what happened here. Someone got booked. Can you? That would be Tigers player getting booked. All right.
Yeah, it's a bit far away.
Yeah, that's a bit, yeah. Luckily, you don't need that detail for your report that you'll be compiling over the rest of the weekend. It's good. And I think Figueroa has just waved everyone forward, so they're gonna be a bit less risky with the possession. Are SD Raiders at this late stage of the game, 78th minute, leading by 2-0 over Northern Tigers. Two very nice goals that they scored in the first half. As Chianese with the flick on, played forward by Mutton for Tigers. It will break for Ali Brown. Brown's looking for the quick ball, took a touch which favours the Raiders, but then who settles it on the far side of the field? I think that's Connor Rose. I think Spang going backwards to settle the ball. Oliver Scott will go across the field to Lachlan Mills. And then the flag's up the assistant on the near side, and Carl Davies has spotted that, so that ends that Tigers move. Streams coming up. Of course, there's 4 NPL Women's New South Wales games being played tomorrow. And in fact, Jonathan Sabatu. Yellow card for what I think they call delaying the restart. As Bevan goes back to Figueroa. It's up towards halfway. Good header from Lachlan Mills. But yes, 4 NPL women's games that you can watch tomorrow on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. All at 5 p.m, unless there's been a late change since I did these notes. But our Maltese friend, Ashley Borg, will be on the dodgy scissor lift at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility to call Newcastle Jets versus RPL Leichhardt. RPL Leichhardt, of course, Sapphire Cup winners for the second time in 3 years after defeating Mount Druitt Town Rangers by 3-0 on a Thursday night. Yeah, there's some nice goals. Estelle Fagali, Sophie Hoban. Can't remember who scored the other goal, but anyway. My memory's failing. Good tackle from Lachlan Everett. Also, another NPL women's game that you can watch tomorrow at 5 p.m. From the venue that is nicknamed the Rudy Hill Turf Farm, Western Sydney Wanderers Academy. Hosting MacArthur Rams, Nicholas Kutniak, the People's Champion, with a commentary for you there. Thanks, by the way, big thank you to Nicholas Kutniak as Chianese delivers. This could be Marchich, knocks it down. It's cleared by France. Nicholas Kutniak actually very, very kindly gave me an XLR splitter cable so that Justin and I could do a 2-person call at a venue with no power. So really appreciate that, Nicholas. Also, another 5 p.m. NPL women's game, New South Wales game. Well, the latest episode of Attack of the 50-Foot Woman is on the South Coast tomorrow because Bulls FC Academy captain Liz Gray will take her team down the South Coast to, I think it's Macedonia Park, to face Illawarra Stingrays. 2 teams in the NPL women's title race there. And then at Sydney University football ground, it's Sydney University hosting Mount Druitt Town Rangers. And while the pitch isn't great there, more sand than grass, if I'm being honest, but gotta love a venue with a licensed bar in the grandstand. I say there's been a kid going back and forth on a scooter all game. I feel like he's going to run into us at some point, but he hasn't yet, so that's good. Tell you what, I mean, you're a fan of what I like to call game management, aren't you? Because
Yep.
SD Raiders have taken the tempo out of this brilliantly.
Yep.
Into the final 10 minutes now here, and that's a long throw. I think that looks like Hannigan with the long throw. And they're just moving it up gradually up the field, but there's going to be a substitution. Okay. I'm going to stare very intently at the area between the 2 benches. I see a number 9. That's going to help. So it's actually Sebastian Malfara. But another brilliant game in central midfield from Malfara. Really controlled the tempo. Some dangerous set pieces, although none led to a goal. And some excellent distribution. What we're used to seeing from him. He's replaced by number 9, Yuto Sugura. I think so he does get a run after starting last week. You said he started last week. Is that correct? Yep.
That's correct.
Now, Kionese Strong does win the free kick, and that adds to what you might call the SD Raiders tempo control in the closing stages, because the ball is in opposition territory, and it's a set piece, which is pretty much perfect. Goran Laboya will be loving this. There's been a goal at Kensington, the Village Green. But for who, Justin Smith? Well, it's gone the way of the home side, so NSW now leading the Spartans by 3-0. These are results that are going to really spice up the League One men's promotion race, as it's delivered by Everett and headed away at the near post. Back to Everett. Maybe a second chance to deliver from out wide, which he does. Another good header. Now it falls from Marcic, and he slices one wide for a goal kick. I was going to throw to you, but we've got substitution figuring out time first. But while you thought, I mean, I will ask you in a bit, like upcoming fixtures for both teams. I just wanted to ask you, Justin, in a moment, what stands out for you. Firstly, I've got players to figure out the usual thing. So I think Taliesin Dorigo, who you pointed out earlier, Justin, he's on the field in the number 14 for Tigers now. Think that's the only... Oh, no. I reckon they made another sub. We'll leave that with you. As the Raiders continuing to pick their moments as to when to press. Tigers building out from the back. Number 80 is Aidan Gardner, so that was the latest double sub cooked up by the OG football superstar winner, now Tigers coach Adam Het. And so Gardner and Dorigo getting a late run on the field here. Played forward. Good touch from Marcic. Can he find... Well, he can't find Kionese. Eased out of the play by multiple Tigers players. Braja goes wide. I think that's Connor Rose. Now, good use of the body there. And then, that's commentator's curse. I almost went a game without doing it. Now, possible chance. Shepherded well by Cooper Hannigan. Will be a corner. I'm sorry, Lachlan Everett. In the corner, I think they're leaving that. Looks like it would be Ali Brown looking for the in-swinger. All the tall players out from the back. Aiden Gardner just come on for Tigers, quite tall as well. He's lined up at the back post. And it's swung in. Might be over the keeper. It's over everyone. And he shepherds it out for another corner. Not a second to waste. This is a league, as we said, that does have a lot of late goals. There's the signal. Flat, little flick. And it's in. It's in. So there's something interesting in the late stages. The Tigers set piece has paid dividends. It was a flat delivery. I think it's Jakub Praja, number 23 for Tigers, who's got the final touch. So, Justin, you're usually right when talking about this league. You talked about the late goals. Tigers have scored in the 86th minute. And grandstand finish coming up here in Moorebank. Yeah. SD Raiders 2, Northern Tigers 1.
Lovely flick at the near post to turn that goalwards. Yeah. They'd probably get a touch on the line. Yeah, I mean, not that Football New South Wales has a dubious goals committee. I think that's going in. I mean, that's got to go to pro. Yeah. Surely. Yeah. So, upcoming fixtures for either team. Was anything that stands out for you, Justin? Well, it was a lot easier to call it 2-0. But you'd suggest SD Raiders have a friendlier next couple of weeks around their cup tie, with Inter and Mounties on the horizon.
Yes.
Well, Tigers have Spartans next week and Rydalman a few weeks as well. So.
Yes. So, Tigers versus Spartans, the oddest, a visually odd fixture in this league. The team named Tigers playing against the team that wears orange and black, but I've done a few of those games. By the way, shout out to Megan, big supporter of our stream. She's tuning in. She thanks Megan for understanding what I'm saying and also what I'm not saying. Lee flying and trying to win the ball back. And then there's Everett, now Lee. I'm trying to see through the crowd as best I can. James Leder booms it forward. Now Segura is pressing, and he's done enough to allow it near Kenese to put the pressure on. Awkward back pass, but it's dealt with well, all things considered, by Bodie Denton. And McGrath, the booming header into the SD Raiders technical area. Raiders backing off Cole Mutton. Raiders reasonably content to have for the Tigers to have the ball in that area of the field, but now they'll press. Hannigan, good positioning, keeps it in play. And then the touch. Sugiura, has he found Marcic? Not quite.
Yeah, it's not exactly a man-to-man press, or so to say, but they're doing really well at cutting out the channels.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's very well said, Justin. It's all about the passing angles, or perhaps from an SD Raiders perspective, not having the passing angles. But Tigers, they have made this interesting with that late Praja goal. 89th minute here. SD Raiders 2, Northern Tigers 1. Be enough stoppage time, you'd think, for at least one more Tigers chance if they're smart enough with their possession. There's a nice header from Hannigan. Helped forward by Lee, I think. All the way to Marcic. He does have a bit of speed. He might use it here. Chianese has pulled out to the left. Marcic, has he... Oh, no, sorry, that's Sugiura to the left, but Marcic decides to chase his own pass, if that makes sense. He's near the corner flag. Might be being encouraged to hold it by the bench. And he's eased out of it by 3 Tigers players. The final minute of regulation time now here. What has been another entertaining game from the most entertaining league in New South Wales, the Football New South Wales League One Men's. Good first touch from Kai Denton, and Denton will shoot, but McGrath tracked him all the way and blocked the shot. Marchis has done well to hold it up. He's found Sugura, support coming from Sabatu. And then Sugura couldn't quite reach that one. NSW is looking to set. And tell you what, not a sub is going to be made by SD Raiders head coach Gordon Boboy, given the game situation. Perhaps not surprising.
Yeah.
And it's Noah Chianese, who has been excellent, has scored one of the goals in the first half. That's put SD Raiders in this good position. He gets a little bit of an early mark.
I'm guessing Santa Rosa.
Yeah, so I was about to guess Santa Rosa. A famous name in Football New South Wales media, although I don't believe he's related. Oh, no, it's 6. Okay, so we got that wrong. Well, I'm sorry. It's, I had his name. It's Ryoma Takagi, as that's intercepted at the near post by Lachlan McGrath. So Ryoma Takagi on for Noah Chianese. That's not a straight swap, so that's more of a end-of-game situation. Oh, it's an end-of-game sub from Gordon Boboya. Now,
well, it's that time of the game where
yes.
You really put them on the park and they figure it out.
Yes. Kai Denton trying to do his best Megan Campbell impersonation. It's bouncing around in the box. There's the header from Everett. Brown is flattened. Tigers free kick. Oh, wait, hang on. No, it's not.
No, it's Raiders.
It's a Raiders free kick. My apologies. Into stoppage time now. We've had 75 seconds of stoppage time. SD Raiders going to be in absolutely no hurry with this one. A little flick. And it's the Raiders who settle it. Quick feet from Everett to give Sugura, I think it is something to chase. Forces the touch from the Tigers player. Forces the corner. That's brilliant from Sugura. Yeah, and you bring fresh legs on if you're a coach whose team is leading for stuff like that. Still everyone back for Tigers, which I find a little bit surprising, given they're trailing. And SD Raiders not exactly chucking people forward for this one, Justin. Keeping it near the corner flag. Now, do they play it into the middle? Oh, it might be a giveaway here, and there's a bit of space here, so those SD Raiders players got to hurry back. It's too straight. And Figuera going to take it easy, and I think he's going to invite the pressure before he picks it up.
No extra lines to worry about for Figuera.
Ah, yes. Well, if you want to know what Justin Smith is referring to, look up the recent game between UNSW and SD Raiders at the Village Green. I'll leave it at that. Well, it must be said there are actually extra lines on this pitch, but they're a little bit fainter than the ones in Kensington, as Cooper Hannigan has kicked that base almost onto the M7. In fact, the throw-in not taken from the correct position. While the ball's here, shameless self-promotion time. If you're a fan of my commentary, there's got to be one of you out there somewhere, please. Header from Sabatu. So, as Marcic might go for a run, I'm calling the game on Friday night, Friday, 25th of July at Cromer Park. What would I be? I've got a Friday night game at Cromer Park. How has that happened? Anyway, I'm calling fixture that I like to call the Andrew Christensen Cup. Manly United versus Western City Wanderers Academy. Friday, 25th of July, 7:30 p.m. kickoff. And as that'll be left for Figuera, he'll again wait for the press to come before picking up the ball. I also, the weekend after that, I have my first ever NPL Women's New South Wales match of the round. Again, it's at Cromer Park, and it's a big game as well in the women's competition. Sunday, 3rd of August, 5 p.m. kickoff. Manly United versus Bulls FC Academy. I'm looking forward to working with Maeve Sparrow for the first time, who's recently joined our media team to do some Instagram work, and she does a very good job. Through and again, well, this is SD Raiders will be perfectly happy with balls just going straight through. To Figueroa, again, he wants to run as many seconds down off the clock as possible. Had almost 5 minutes of time added on. Couple of bounces. Figueroa going to take absolutely no risks with this one. And that is that. So it's a much-needed victory for SD Raiders. Their first victory in the league since round 15. And what a time it's come, and what an opponent it's come against. They've beaten the league leaders, Northern Tigers, by 2-1. They did the damage in the opening 30 minutes. Riley Cox-Barlow with a great individual effort to open the scoring in the 20th minute. And then in the 28th minute, Noah Chianese finishing off an excellent team move to make it 2-0. Jakub Praja scored in the 86th minute to make the end interesting, but the final score here, 2-1 to SD Raiders over Northern Tigers. And Justin Smith, your initial thoughts on what we've just seen here tonight?
Yeah, big result in the context of the promotion race now. With, SD Raiders arguably entering it.
Entering it
again.
UNSW, well, they're beating the Spartans. That makes that even more interesting. And the Bulls and Bonnyrigg about to kick off. That's actually not too far away from here at the Bonnyrigg Sports Club. But yes, please keep an eye out late tomorrow evening. Justin's review of round 24 of League One Men's will be up on the Football New South Wales League socials, and my usual shout out to our fearless leader, the Football New South Wales media manager Mark Stavroulakis, for doing our rosters, publishing our reports, and for tonight giving us this opportunity. I've thoroughly enjoyed calling this game with you, Justin. Let's put pressure on him to do it again, sometime before the end of the season.
And I'll leave a final comment is. Good to have you back in this division, Eric.
Yes. That's right.
I believe the Eagles song goes, you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. So.
Correct. Yes. So, it is time to wrap up. You can switch over to events at the Arctic Circle. 64th minute there. Rockdale have pulled a couple of goals back, but it's Spirit leading by 4 goals to 2. Come on, Spirit, hang on, please. You can do it. And your other options for streams going on right now, it's 0-0 at halftime between Wollongong Wolves and Manly United. Starting at 7:15 p.m, St George City versus Marconi Stallions. Starting at 7:30 p.m, Sutherland Sharks versus Bankstown City. But on behalf of Football New South Wales, Justin Smith, our broadcast partner Sportscast, and today's camera operator Nelson, who did a great job providing technical assistance so we could get this 2-person call working today. We thank you for your support of League One Men's and the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Take care, stay warm, and we will see you soon. Have a very lovely weekend. The final score here at Ernie Smith Reserve Field 2, SD Raiders 2, Northern Tigers 1.